Hey guys. So there's been some things that have come up recently that have kind of got to me a little bit, so I figured I would give you my opinion on these two things. Now, before everybody gets their panties all in a bunch, this is not directed towards anybody in specific. This is about people as a whole and the internet and just everywhere. So don't be like, oh, she read that off my status and now she hates me, because I don't. If I'm friends with you on Facebook, I'm friends with you for a reason. So don't freak out and think that I'm bitching at you or anything. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to give you my opinion on this whole Kate having her royal baby ordeal. Now, there are three different sides to this story. There are people that are super excited about it. There are people that don't give a shit about it. And then there are people that are upset about the people that are excited about it. Now, the problem with this whole thing is that everybody is throwing a hissy fit, or the third side, is throwing a hissy fit over the fact that Kate Middleton had her baby boy and he is royalty, so the whole thing is all over the internet. It's all over the media. It's on TV, it's on the computer, it's on radio, it's everywhere. What the hell are you doing?
So, how do you find that audience?
Quiet.
How about you use the volume button? Thanks. It's all good. Kevin's on the computer. So he's probably going to see some things about Kate Middleton on there. Now, the reason that she is all over the media is because she is the Duchess of Cambridge, and they had a baby. Okay? So, when the Duchess of Cambridge married Prince Williams, and then, or Prince William, and they had a baby that's been the first prince that has been born in, I don't know how old William is, probably 25 to 30 years. That's a big deal for people that live over in Europe, because they have the utmost respect for the royal family. Us over in America, we don't understand the whole respect deal. We are very disrespectful. So whenever we see somebody in a different country, or we see something else where everybody's super excited about it, we're like, oh, well, that doesn't apply to me, and I don't want to see it all over the place, so I'm going to make fun of it, or I'm going to get pissed off because it's all over, or I'm going to poke fun at it, or whatever. And you know what? Really? Is it necessary? I mean, look at all the shit that's all over the TV and the news day in and day out. Murders and rapes and drugs and all of this horrible stuff, which is why nobody ever watches the news anymore. And you finally have a good piece of news. There was a beautiful baby boy born, a prince born, the first time in 25, 30 years, and everybody has to get upset about it because it's all over the news. Well, it's gonna be. So instead of being upset about it, we need to, how about you light a candle? You know, light a candle and pray for good health to this baby, and send her positive energy, and why don't you turn this into a positive thing instead of being pissy about it? I mean, it's just, was there anything I told you about earlier that I needed to add to this? Or have I bitched enough about this subject? I probably bitched enough about this subject. But anyway, my point is, we need to take something that's positive, being a beautiful baby boy that has been born, and keep it positive instead of turning it into a negative thing, which is something that America seems to do a lot of. And it's not necessary, okay? So, okay, done. That's my first thing. Okay, second thing is The Conjuring. Now, this movie, let me say that one more time. This movie, it's a movie, okay, was fantastic. I went and saw it with Kevin and one of our friends, and we loved it. The first night I got home, I didn't sleep very well because I kept thinking that I was going to get possessed by a demon. But it was a great, great, great horror flick. I have a high amount of respect for Ed and Lorraine Warren. I know that people either love them or hate them. I'm one of the people that loves them. And the movie has been getting a lot of flack, especially from a certain group of people, because they're saying that the exorcism wasn't done right and it's sacrilegious, and that once you're done watching it, you need to go get blessed by a priest. And people are like trying to ban this movie, and they're having riots outside, and it's like, it's people. It is a damn movie. It's a movie. If you actually read the book that has to do with the movie, the oldest daughter wrote, I believe it was the oldest daughter, wrote an actual book explaining the events of the whole Conjuring, the whole Harrisville ordeal. And there was a lot of stuff that was different. And there's a reason for that. It's called Hollywood. If they would have done it exactly the same way that the daughter wrote it, in her instance, it took place over a 10-year period. Nobody's going to watch a movie that takes place over a 10-year period. They ended, I think it wasn't as crazy and as nutso as it was. The mom never ended up getting possessed. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was different. And I'm sure the actual story was told, and whoever wrote the movie was like, well, we have to put other stuff in there, otherwise it's not going to be classified as a horror movie, it's just going to be boring. So, that's what I think about that, is people need to calm the F down about this movie and look at it as a movie. Look at it as a form of entertainment to scare the shit out of you, to go home, to not sleep well at night, and to call it good. It's just like The Exorcist. I mean, that's what they're for, is to be terrified. If you don't like possession, if you don't like demonic stuff, if you don't like any of that, don't watch it. Because that's what it is. That's what it's about. There were other people that were whining about it because they're like, well, it gives witches a bad name. Because this isn't spoiling anything, I don't think, and if it is, I'm sorry. But one of the big spirits or demons in the house was a witch, and she was a Satan. She worshipped Satan. I don't want to say she was a Satanist. She worshipped Satan, and so they called her a witch. They never did anything with that. It was basically just like, there's the witch. There's the witch. Like, that's just what they called her. And the reason that they did that was not to piss off real witches. They didn't do it to be like, what should we call her? Well, I think we should call her a witch, because there's a bunch of Wiccans and pagans out there that are witches that it would just piss them right off. No, that's not why they did it. They did it because to the majority of people, the term witch is frightening because they understand it as the term that we don't want them to understand it as. But that's how it is. And so that's what they called it. It was a Hollywood thing. It had nothing to do with pissing us off. There are plenty of movies out there that give witches a bad name. And if you let it upset you, that's your fault. Because that's not how they do it. You can watch a movie about a black man murdering somebody and going to jail, and people that are getting upset because they're saying it's racist, well, that's their problem, because that's not how it was meant to be. So I feel like there was one other thing. Nope, I already did that because it was about the Christianity thing, because people were pissed off because Ed Warren, that did the exorcism, was not a priest. Like, he was not an ordained minister, I should say. So people were having a hissy fit about that, because they're like, well, you can't have the not ordained dude do the exorcism because it's this, and it was just, duh. People, calm the fuck down. It is a movie. And I can't stress that enough. It is a movie that is meant for entertainment. Go, be entertained, be scared, grab your boyfriend, throw him in front of you, whatever, don't sleep at night. That's what it's there for. If you're going and you get offended by that shit, don't fucking see it. That is what I have to say about those things, because now I'm just getting riled up. I just want to put my opinions out there, because that is what I do. So, that is what I think about that beautiful baby boy and that fantastic